Welcome to Seedling Squad, your go-to place for all things plant and gardening. Whether you're a beginner just starting out or a seasoned green thumb, we've got tips, tricks, and tutorials for everyone. Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm here to help you grow your gardening skills and turn your space into a green paradise. From seed to harvest, let's embark on this gardening journey together. In today's video, we will be featuring how to build healthy soil for beginner gardeners. Just so you know, there are direct links to all the related products in the description below. If you want a wide range of gardening facts, tips, and tricks, be sure to visit our website at seedlingsquad.com. So let's get started. When people begin gardening, they often focus on the plants first. They look at seeds, pots, sunlight, and watering schedules. These are all important, but there is one factor that affects everything else, and that is the soil. Soil is a living system, not just something that holds all things together. It contains microorganisms, organic matter, minerals, air pockets, and water. All of these components work together to support plant growth. When soil is healthy, plants are stronger, more resilient, and easier to care for. When soil is poor, plants struggle even if everything else is done correctly. Let's start with a simple idea. Healthy soil supports life. Inside good soil, there are bacteria, fungi, worms, and other tiny organisms. These organisms break down organic materials like leaves and plant waste. As they do this, nutrients are released into forms that plants can absorb through their roots. This process is natural and ongoing. One of the easiest ways to improve your soil is by adding organic matter. This includes compost, kitchen scraps, dried leaves, and plant trimmings. When you add these materials to your soil, you are feeding the microorganisms. Over time, this improves the structure of the soil, making it easier for roots to grow and for water to move through it. Compost is one of the best tools you can use. It is made by allowing organic materials to decompose in a controlled way. A simple compost pile can include vegetable scraps, fruit peels, eggshells, dried leaves, and even small amounts of paper. As these materials break down, they turn into a dark, crumbly substance that is rich in nutrients. If you are working with containers, compost can be mixed into your potting soil. If you are gardening in the ground, it can be spread on top or lightly mixed into the soil. Over time, this builds a richer growing environment. Next, let's talk about keeping your soil covered. In nature, soil is rarely left bare. There are always leaves, plants, or other materials protecting it. In gardening, this can be done using mulch. Mulch is a layer of material placed on top of the soil. Common mulch materials include dried leaves, grass clippings, straw, and wood chips. This layer helps reduce water evaporation, keeps soil temperatures more stable, and limits weed growth. When mulch breaks down, it also adds organic matter back into the soil. This means that mulch not only protects the soil, but also improves it over time. It is important to apply mulch properly. A thin to moderate layer is usually enough. In most cases, around 2 to 3 inches is a good starting point. Too much mulch can prevent air from reaching the soil and may hold too much moisture, especially in containers. Now let's look at how plants themselves can improve soil. Some plants, known as legumes, have a special relationship with bacteria in their roots. These bacteria can take nitrogen from the air and convert it into a form that plants can use. Examples of legumes include beans, peas, and certain cover crops. When these plants are grown and then removed or turned into the soil, they can help increase nitrogen levels. This is useful when rotating crops or preparing soil for future planting. Crop rotation is another helpful practice. This means changing the type of plant grown in a specific area each season. Different plants use and return different nutrients. By rotating crops, you reduce the chance of nutrient depletion and help maintain soil balance. Water management is also closely connected to soil health. Soil that contains a good amount of organic matter can hold water more effectively. This means you do not need to water as often, and plants are less likely to experience stress during dry periods. At the same time, healthy soil should also drain well. Water should not stay stagnant for long periods. Good soil has a balance between holding moisture and allowing excess water to drain away. In containers, this balance depends on the type of potting mix you use and whether your containers have drainage holes. In ground gardens, it depends on soil structure and the amount of organic matter present. Let's talk briefly about fertilizers. Fertilizers provide nutrients that plants need, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These nutrients are essential for plant growth. However, fertilizers should be used carefully. Adding too much can harm plants and disrupt the natural balance of the soil. It can also reduce microbial activity over time if overused. A good approach is to focus on building soil health first. When your soil is rich in organic matter and full of microbial life, it can supply many of the nutrients plants need. Fertilizer can then be used as a supplement when necessary, rather than as the main source of nutrients. Testing your soil can also help. A simple soil test can show if your soil is lacking specific nutrients. This allows you to make informed decisions instead of guessing. There are also a few common practices that beginners should understand more clearly. For example, coffee grounds are often described as a strong nitrogen source. While they do contain nitrogen, they are best used as part of compost or as a light mulch. Applying large amounts directly to the soil may not provide immediate benefits and can sometimes affect soil balance. Wood chips are another example. They are excellent as a mulch layer on top of the soil. However, mixing large amounts of fresh wood chips directly into the soil can temporarily reduce nitrogen availability as they break down. Another concept you may hear about is water management techniques, such as swales. These are shallow channels designed to capture and direct water in a landscape. While they can be effective in certain situations, they are not necessary for every garden. Their usefulness depends on the layout of your space, rainfall patterns, and soil type. For beginners, simple methods like proper watering, mulching, and improving soil structure are usually enough to see strong results. As you continue gardening, you will start to notice how soil responds to your care. Soil becomes easier to work with. It holds moisture better. Plants grow more consistently. These changes take time, but they build on each other. It is also helpful to observe your plants. Healthy plants often have steady growth, good color, and fewer signs of stress. If plants are struggling, the issue is often connected to the soil, watering, or nutrient balance. Gardening does not require perfection. It requires consistency and observation. By focusing on soil health, you create a strong foundation that supports everything else in your garden. Over time, your garden becomes more stable and easier to manage. You may find that you need fewer inputs and less effort to maintain plant health. This is the result of building a balanced system rather than relying on quick fixes. Thanks for joining us on this countdown of how to build healthy soil for beginner gardeners. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more gardening tips and tricks. Happy gardening, Seedling Squad!